Hello and welcome to the first Java programming tutorial. I made a video before this on how to set up everything. If you haven't watched that, watch it. If you already have Eclipse and you're ready to go, keep going. Keep watching. So in this video I'm going to show you the basics of coding in Java. I'm going to show you the syntax, how to set up a project, how to make it run, and why it runs and how it runs. So let's start. First, you can see our workspace is empty, it's clean. So we're just gonna hit this new button, the arrow, and we're gonna hit Java project. We're gonna give up our project a name. So first project would be a good name for this first project. And then in here you're gonna see a folder called SRC, which stands for source. This is where your source code goes. And a hierarchy of resources. Now this is the Java standard class library, which is all the classes you could use to create a Java project. So in here, well, the way we start is in here we're gonna select the source folder and either right click, go to new, and hit class, or you can just hit this little green class button, and it's gonna bring up another dialog where you can specify the package. Don't worry about the package right now, set it as default, but a package is pretty much just a way of organizing classes. And by the way, a class is like a file that you're going to store your Java code in. So we're going to give this file a name, this class a name, and we'll call it the first. And you can see as I start typing, it'll say the use of a default package discouraged. Well, I don't care. Usually, by convention, class names begin with a capital letter. So I'm going to call this the first class. And all these modifiers are just keep them the way they are. I'll talk about them later. Then we're just going to hit finish. And as soon as you hit finish, it will create the class and it will open it in the editor. This is the editor right here. And as you can see, it says public class, and then the name of the class, and then open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Now this is the class definition. So when public means it's public, anything that's its visibility modifier, which means this class is public. Anything can see it, anything can use it. Class means class, obviously. It's like defining that this is a class. And the name of the class is the name of the class. Now, notice that, let's say I wanted to change the name of the class to like this. First class. It's still a class, but it's spelled differently. It must be defined in its own file. So for example, since this file is called the first class, public, it can only have one public class in it, and it has to be the same name. So now any code we write in between these curly brackets will belong to this class. So let's start. So first thing you have to know is the main method. So for now, a method is just a way of performing actions using programming. It's not specific to Java by itself. Other programming languages also have methods. So the main method is called whenever a program is run. The Java JDK looks in the package for a main method, and then it'll run the main method, and then everything in the main method will run. Usually you put all the time you put all your code in the main method, all the code you want to run in the main method. It'll go through it all one by one, and then once it gets to the last line, executes it, and the program terminates. So we're going to write the main method, which is public. That's setting its visibility. Public means that anything can see it. Static means that it's not going to change. Static means that it's a method of a class. Public static. Void, which is the return type. Don't worry about any of this stuff. I will explain it in great depth in a later video, just about methods. Just remember this. Just remember the sequence of words. This main method. So public static void main, because it's the main method, it's called main. Make sure you write it lowercase m, main, just like that, because Java is case sensitive. which means that something like this is different than something like this. Okay, and now you may have noticed I wrote string. String is another class that's provided in this JRE Java standard library. It's the string class. And strings pretty much just hold a sequence of characters, or like words. And then this means something else, I'll explain later, and this is args. Or this could be anything, but I'll just name it arg. Or it pretty much is standing for arguments. So now, you've noticed that I also open and close curly brackets. This, remember how I said this defines everything in the class? This defines everything inside this method. So any code I put in here will go in this method, and this method is in this class. It's a hierarchy of things inside things. Okay, so now in here we want to do something. So let's type something basic like a system.out.print line. And this is the standard way of printing text or printing anything to the screen, to the console. And we'll just print something like hello underworld, because everybody does hello world. Why should I do that? And notice that there's parentheses here and quotes. Strings are written in quotes. Strings are remember the character sequence is a string. It's just words. And then, very important, you have to put a semicolon after every line of code in Java. And a couple more things. White space doesn't matter. I could do this like this. It'll still work. I could do this like this. It'll still work. You saw a plus sign. A plus sign is used to put together strings. It's called concatenation. So I concatenate this string, let's say this string, to another string. So now these are put together. They are one string. They're not one string, but they're put together. It's like adding words. So now we could run this by clicking this run button up here. And it's going to ask you to save and launch, and you're going to hit OK. And it'll say hello underworld in the console. The console is where you're printing. This is like where you print things to most of the time. It doesn't have to be the console. You can print to other places. And that's going to sum it up for this video. Look out for my next video. It's going to be more in depth on other concepts and stuff like that. So thanks for watching again. And yeah.